5 fellows from 5 different parts of the country, finding a home away from home in the ancient city of Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, Nigeria. Join us as we take you through our journey so far. Hello everyone, my name is Agnes Onyekere and I am here with my amazing fellows.
Yay!
Okay, so we are 2021 Teach for Nigeria fellows who were posted to what now? Ijebu-Ode. So we form the ESCOs of the Ijebu-Ode Golden Stars Fellows Connect. And we're here to just chit-chat about our 2021 cohort journey, our 1-year journey so far. So it's just like, how has it been? The highs, the lows. This is something that we get to do in our, little corners. So we just want to get you guys involved in what's going on. So I'm sure it's going to be exciting. So enjoy. So first of all, we want to introduce.
I think that's
Okay, so should I do it or want to do it ourselves?
well. You can do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, okay. So on my hard day to do that thing, on my right.
It's not on the
So on my left. So on my left, I have Ogechi. Hello. Did you hear that? Okay, so we have Sullivan here too. And then they happen to be partners in the same school. Okay, so on my far right, I have
Man of the moment.
Ebu fellow.
Chicken soup. Chicken soup originator.
Yes. Mr. George right here. So
Hello everyone.
very gentle guy. Doesn't talk too much. Anyway, so we also have Funsho right here.
Yeah, so now
We
we
run
this
They call it phone show.
I don't know where that guy is because I don't know it. Okay, so Funsho is my partner in this school.
Yes, sir.
And this is our environment.
It's quite amazing.
So yes, guys, let's get to it.
All right.
So how was it like coming from, we're in different places, different. That's one thing about Teach for Nigeria. So it just brings different fellows from different states, to Ogun State, Lagos, and the other states to just, do amazing work. So coming from where you were coming from and coming all the way to where you are now, how was the experience like? It cannot be that easy coming all the way, and coming to a new environment. So let's talk about that. Who wants to go first?
I think George should go first.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, coming all the way from Benue down to Ogun State wasn't easy at all. It was stressful. The transportation is way high, and I came here not knowing one single being. I had to survive on my own. I had to look up to God basically.
Away. I'm
It was more of survival skills and all that. But we had to do what we had to do to get where we need to be.
Not because of that one.
Yes, and I met amazing I met amazing fellows, and they have been encouraging and strengthening all along the way. All thanks to God.
Let's think we should use that.
What's the wisdom?
Deep.
Anyway, so I think I should add something before we move to the next question. So next question is talking about the challenges you faced settling into your school. That placement school. That school, according to Teach for Nigeria, they place you where you are needed the most. So when you got there, how did you settle in? So that's the next question. But I want to add the fact that for me, coming from Jos, it was not easy at all. When I saw that, initially you're supposed to get this mobilization fee that will take you from where you are down to the school, right? And then at that time, we got to realize that we're not going to be giving because some people will run away with the money.
Mm.
Yes, they will
Yeah,
run
right.
away and they will not resume. So, so we're now we're asked to find a way to just bring ourselves, and then once we resume, we get the mobilization fee and all that. For me, that felt like war because I was supposed to find that body coming from Jos to Ogun State, and it
Yeah,
was
at that
something
point, we've
else.
used all our money on data.
Look at
everything.
me.
And now
I had
money,
to
oh.
travel. I had to travel for interview. So I'm broke.
crazy.
Like that.
No.
So at that time it was not
Man.
it was not cool. It was not, so I had to find a way. Later. Now I found a way to come, and then later on we got the mobilization fee. So yeah, let's move on to the challenges in placement school.
Okay.
Who wants to go?
Sure.
For
Want me to
sure.
go?
Yes, you want
Okay.
it to go.
Okay, everyone.
I feel like someone should say something about that.
Well, I feel like Kobe should say
Wait,
something about that.
wait.
Yes,
Okay.
because there's something
Why?
I
Why?
think you should say something about it.
Okay, let me say what I have in mind. Okay, the challenges I faced at first was that okay, when I came here at first, I came through that gate. I don't know if the camera can capture that. I came through that gate, so
It's
I
okay.
walked around. When I entered, I was just looking at everywhere and I was just nodding my head like, wow. So this is where I'm coming to. So I walked straight to the head teacher's office, and as a Yoruba boy now, I had to pay homage.
Hmm.
I had to dobale.
Dobale mi re.
Yes, sir. This is Funsho Babalola from TFN. And I said, oh, Chevron teachers. That's the slogan. Chevron
Yeah,
teachers.
that's what they call us.
Chevron teachers. Where's your wife? And I said,
Which way?
They always call us.
So I was not like, wife. It took me time to understand what they mean by where's your wife. So I'm not like, please, sir, can you please break it down? Or do you know me from somewhere before? How do you know I'm married? Meanwhile, I was not married. And I said, okay. Then I said, yeah, it's my partner they were referring to. And I said, oh, okay. She's coming. She will come. When
Your
she comes,
partner
don't
still
worry.
listening to
When
me,
she
right?
comes, I will introduce her to you. So that's how we went into his office. We now had some little chit chat. So he was now telling me the history of Bola Ige, everything, how he rose to prominence, how he was how he was murdered.
Is Bola Ige the one child?
So after that, so I went around the classes to see, the facilities they had. So I was not really impressed, but what can we do? TFN has sent us to, make the difference.
But Fujo, I just feel that in the whole of this, at the end of the day, last, you're a Lagos boy.
You know how it
How far
goes.
is Lagos from here, from Ogun State?
Well,
So I don't feel like you have a serious culture shock or anything. Honestly, you should be giving God that glory.
okay.
Because no, but true that.
No, but think about it.
Okay.
This place is it's a different cultural
Yeah, from
entity.
Lagos, Abi.
Yes,
You see?
a different cultural entity. Like here, you have to be intentional about your greetings.
Greeting and
Yes.
You
That's
guys
a
should see
culture
what
shock
happened
for me.
Like when I met my HM for the first day, because I and my partner we arrived almost the same time. So I'm there, I'm like, good morning, ma.
Imagine.
And the woman
Like-
is like, who is this
That
man?
kind, they never
Nobody
do
Who
heard
does
that.
that? You
And in
understand?
my head, I'm greeting you.
And I'm trying to tell her that
And this
you
woman is
kneel
telling
down.
me off in Yoruba, and she's complaining to my partner about how I'm standing straight. And
Yes,
straight.
one
In my mind, I'm
disrespectful
actually
Igbo
giving
girl.
you respect, and then I have to learn to good morning,
Go
ma.
down,
Good
yes.
morning, ma. Oh God.
For me, it was a culture shock seeing my students come.
Their knees
hit
boom,
and
You
they're
hear the
like,
sound.
good morning. And they
You
will
hear the
stay there
sound.
until
you
you
tell
tell
them
them
to
to
stand
get
up.
up. And I'm like,
What is
I'm
going
almost,
on?
at first, I was almost like, no. Before, and I realized that, oh, that's the way everybody does it
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
So, and then now, the annoying thing is now that the older people expect you to do that for them.
It's their
And
culture.
I'm like,
So that
but
cultural
I
stuff.
don't know it.
You have to learn
Like
it.
literally right now, it's now a subconscious thing.
And I'm
Like
impressed.
even when I meet my age mates, I'm going,
Good morning. So even for men, God said, you're always like intentional. You have to just prostrate almost, or your hands must just touch the floor.
Abi.
You understand? So it's kind of valued in a big way. Yeah.
And aside from that, apart from the culture shock, coming from our school where they almost had a library by then. They had computers. The fellows before them had done several things, and then they're looking at you like, you guys
Yes.
better do better.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't
There's a
get it.
landmark. There's
They have
this
done so many things.
baseline.
Our school now, everywhere is
Ministries
pimped
of
up.
works.
Everyone's doing it, and they're like, people have work. Oh, I hope you know how to type. You know how to use computer. I hope you have plans and dreams.
Yes,
This is
so
what
many
Gafar did. This is what this person did. And first of all, I'm homeless. I just came from
We have no clue. Like,
I've not even dropped my bag. You are telling me I have things to do. Let me chop first when you guys
Exactly, because the TFN way is that they have a way of making you become resilient, right? They kind of like just drop you into that
Into that
community,
zone.
yes, and then they watch what you do after. They find a way to get like support systems for you, their coaches, their this and there's that, and then they get to find out how they get to watch you grow into the person that they want you to be, the fellow that they want you to be in that. So initially, you are not given any accommodation. You have to find it yourself.
True.
You go there, you're supposed to mix with the people in the community
Yeah.
so that you can easily find places around. That's the idea, right? But sometimes it is hard.
It's not
Some of us
sometimes.
are like
Most of the
weeks
times.
and months
Most of the times,
homeless.
it's always hard to
Agree.
navigate through. Most of the times, it's always hard to navigate through.
Actually, and then you know the thing about shelter. When you don't have like
Oh,
your own
Jesus.
place, like lay
Yeah,
your
you'll be
head.
restless.
Oh my God! Even when you come to school, you try
Yes.
to walk, you try to do all that. There's this thing that I'm
And
not
coming
settled
to
here yet. Oh, I'm not
Ijebu,
settled
they
here.
when finding home,
Finding accommodation is so expensive.
it's so expensive and difficult.
Yes.
Understand that?
And then you don't even get. There's just so many drama.
Despite it's a rural area.
Then they start to think that Yahoo girls and boys.
Yeah.
So they refuse to give us accommodation
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah,
And any
Realistic
small thing.
expectations.
I remember I and my partner and Mr. Fusho walk around Ijebu-Ode, and any small place we see, Etania, will be like, it's above hundreds of thousands. And we're like, calm down.
And they'll say if you don't collect it,
someone
Yahoo
else-
boys to collect
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
We're like, calm down, breathe.
And we're like,
We are teachers.
We are teachers.
We're
We
like,
have to
well,
even show them the band. See, look at our band. Teach for
Teach for
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Teach for Nigeria.
imagine. So crazy.
Experience was memorable for me. I was
Deep.
posted to be reposted. You know, the way it went was that I went to my first placement school, spent close to 2 weeks there. In another local government far from Ijebu-Ode. I started actually absorbing and trying to settle down. Then after some time, I got reposted. Just imagine the shock, and
feel for
also
you.
and all that. Man,
Yeah.
I wanted dissolving, but
I
I just had to I had to look up to God and all that. So I had to come to Ijebu-Ode, and here we are. We're still pushing.
with the chicken soup.
Deep.
Okay, so I feel like we've touched on challenges, school
Yes.
challenges.
Yeah.
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 Settling in.
School no,
No,
like
I don't think we've talked about school challenges. Maybe just settling on the rest.
Yeah.
yes, about
yeah,
the
we've done
kind of
settling
like
in.
mix. Do we have anything to say as regards school settling into that
Okay.
school? Like yes, the idea that they just feel like we are spies or we've come to take their jobs
God.
or some of these things, so they feel uneasy when they see us at
Yes,
first.
so some of the teachers feel like the government has sent you to
Mhm.
spy on them, so you know their
Yeah.
weaknesses. So they are just hostile towards you.
Very hostile.
Look at this small child
Very
that I can
hostile.
give birth to. That you're coming to come and see what I can do, Abi. Don't worry. And you have to just learn to make them know that we're not here to fight with you. We're
Abi.
here to create relationships for the children's sake. Oh God, help
Initially
somebody.
it was horrible because for me it was like, okay, I'm just coming to the west for the first time. I was born in Jos. I'm from the east. Okay, so I'm in the west, right?
Abi,
And all
Next
that.
place, we went to the north.
in the well, I was from the
She lives in the
north,
north.
Abi,
now.
she have
right?
lived around the
So the
Cardinals.
idea now is
So you are
I'm coming
Nigeria.
here.
Like
I'm
full
coming
Nigeria.
here, and then I'm seeing a scenario where there are older people who believe that they just have they are prejudiced already. They have it in their mind that I've come to maybe snatch their jobs and I'm coming to tell on them that, oh, they are doing this or they are doing that in that school, or they are doing this so that they would maybe lose their job or their placement where they are and all that. So you get people who initially initially I wanted to carry my bag. There was this particular day I was like, I'm just going to carry my bag and I'm going to go. I'm not going to look at the sacrifices I made coming from just this place. I'm just going to go. Because there are days when I will literally cry and cry and cry and cry based on everything that was going on. Initially, my would I say my admin was not very happy with certain things. And for me, I came with the idea that, okay, let's see how we can use a little bit of technology. Let's see how we can use a little bit. I can use a little bit of my laptop. I can use a little bit of my what's this thing? My to make class fun, but they make it look like when this hands when you finish play, you now start with the work that you're giving to do and all that. So they were not very open with that at first until later on. Later on, I can't believe that the same person is coming back to be like, oh, she feels like this is very effective, seeing how much the children have improved. So initially I cannot go into details here.
Well, in our own place, I think it was a different ball game, being that since we've got fellows before in our school, so and they've had like this landmark, this baseline, they've done something huge. Understand? So when we got there, we're like just based to raise the bars high. So they've already like we were not being looked at as someone who is coming to take over their job. Understand? But they just look like, okay, oh, you just have to put in more effort, you have to put in more work. And it was as if, okay, for us, it was as if they were now putting all the load on our head. Any small thing, you are the one to do it. You should do this, you should do this, you should do that. And we're like, take
Felt
it
like
easy.
for you guys,
Yes.
the expectation was already
Yes. Very
wow.
high.
Wow.
Yeah, well, for me in my school, we are the first set of fellows,
Ooh.
and
Wow.
That
it's a
was the
big
challenge,
it's
you
a
know.
big work for us actually,
Wow.
because we had to do a lot of influencing and
Explaining
changing.
yourself.
Yeah, explaining and changing things from the way they are to how they need to be. And sometimes they try to misunderstand it for something else, but we still try to like balance things up and do what's best for the kids. And sometimes they try to push it aside, and each time they try to do that, we try to show them, look at Muslim school one. We need to be
No, we are not. Let's
we
go
need to
on.
be
We are the
we need to be like Muslim school one, and everything will just settle down. So that's how it has been so far.
Okay, so I think we should talk about the challenges we had with our kids. Like, what was that shock, that thing? Because I feel like it's like
it's
in
plenty.
individual
The
schools.
plenty.
I think Oge should
It's
say this
plenty.
one first.
Me?
He has a lot. Yes, I know. Yes.
Yeah. Having monitoring it.
Emani.
Monitoring and evaluation.
All right.
Yeah.
So we should continue.
So I should.
So I think Oge should say
I should-
something.
Should I say something?
Yes.
Please say something.
Yes.
Say something.
We are in vote for her.
You know
Ah.
me. For me, I didn't really have that. Okay, I will not say I didn't have challenge because I was a Yoruba boy, or I'm a Yoruba boy rather. Well, when I came, I met them like speaking their native, like after they greet you, good morning, sir. You are welcome to the class of primary 5K. God bless you, sir.
Defaulted.
Before you know it, they change back to uncle.
Yoruba.
Maybe you bani. Like trying to find out that if you can actually speak their language so that they can flow easily. So I think that was the major challenge I faced when I got to the class. So
But how is that a challenge for you?
ah, it's a challenge because when I now bring out the subject to teach, like explain in English, it now became very difficult for them to understand concepts in English. So I now have to be mixing the native language gradually for them to now understand. Okay, if I say okay, 2 times 2, some of them might not get it easily. Like, and I say, to bá mú two, méjì báyìí, eh? pẹ̀lú méjì tó bá fi papọ̀ kí ló máa fún ẹ? You know, I have to now start. And now like this, not what TFN sent me to come and do. I have to- so the thing was now almost affecting me. Like I'm now becoming like them.
Like them. They were not
Ah,
influencing you. Instead of you to be influencing them, they were not
So
influencing
they were
you.
not trying to influence me. So I'm not like, no, this is not what TFN sent me to do. And I have to revert back to the English language. So I'm now using English on a steady basis.
Dope.
So they were now picking up like supersonic.
Deep.
Yeah. So
Go
over
check
to
out.
over to Ogechi.
All right. Oh Lord.
Amen.
My one was very funny. Shout. Considering the fact that I've never been in the West, number one. Like even normal greeting, I did not know.
Okay.
Like I got there and then they are singing their we are the royalty. First of all, they're not even singing the song properly. And then okay, let's start with the fact when they want to report something, when something goes wrong. And they can't talk like you're speaking Yoruba. Blah, 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 blah. And in my mind, I'm like, how I wish they can do the like it's as if in their mind this auntie is supposed to understand Yoruba. So they will just go in Yoruba and I'm like, Then when they finish, I'm like, okay, oh yeah, translate it to English.
And their facial reaction will be like,
the person is like,
they're not like,
don't worry. Auntie like this.
Okay.
If when they try to explain, it would have been better. My kids will just
Oh
go,
God.
don't worry, and they will come back to their seat and sit.
Yes, and be angry. Or they will go and
Oh,
just start
God.
fighting with the other person and be like, no, I have to
And
like take it
it's
out
true.
on you.
Speaking about that fighting was a very big issue. I had kids who were very insulting. And they were really, the kind of insults they gave themselves, I'm in shock. They were violent, they were hostile towards themselves, they were aggressive. So when I'm coming to the class, I'm like, no insults, no this, no that, no this. And me myself, I have to be conscious of the fact that I can't treat them in a certain way. So whenever they insult someone, I go, have I insulted you before? Oh yeah, go back and apologize. Like that word became a thing in apologize to him. Tell him sorry. Say excuse me. Don't shout, get out of my way. Say please. Can you move? Oh my God, it was not easy. These children are violent. But we praise the Lord Jesus. We thank the Lord.
Hallelujah.
So that was like the major thing when it came to my kids, aside from their academics and the robust stuff of trying to help them. There was one funny thing that happened concerning this stuff when I wanted to give my rules and regulation. And you know, they are already speaking in English. So what I did was I got someone, her name was Imam Aisha. I told her, okay, when I speak in English to give you the rules, you interpret in Yoruba, please. I think that was the funniest thing that my head teacher heard about it. And she literally brought me out in the briefing to tell the teachers what was going on. I was like, those children don't understand rules and regulation though. We had to put it in Yoruba so that they will know that see the things I want you to do and see the things I want us to do. So there's no point where you say you do not understand that's what Auntie was trying to say.
They
Those
know
were
the
main
rules.
issues.
Well, I think for me, the only challenge I had was administrative challenge. I could navigate through all the other ones. It was quite easy for me to navigate through all those ones. But administrative challenge, they were always saying I was using this high standard of teaching on learners.
Wow.
And I'm like, relax. Other people in even in private schools, like this is just like the landmark. But like I was using big English. My teacher called it university English. And I'm like, so there's primary school English, there's secondary school English, and now we are now using
What was even the word
university.
that even caused that while? Like
Philanthropist.
it was so bad she reported it to her husband.
Yes,
That's how bad it was.
philanthropist. So it's really, then she was always at my neck anytime I teach. She'll come to my classroom and watch. They started asking the teacher that, okay, how is Mr. Solomon teaching? And truthfully, my teachers were like, my co-teacher and all that, were like, he's doing pretty well. In fact, they've been getting vibes and nice thing. And she was just like,
no, let us say the truth. See, we have to tell ourselves the truth. These Yoruba people like marriage. Let's just be open.
Where are you going to now? Yeah, you
this is
Don't
what
carry
they say.
us, go where you
Sokwe
don't know.
Otila.
We have to tell fellows.
Oh.
When you're coming, sometimes your head of school might have a daughter or a son that might be a potential to you. So his problem was that he rejected our offer. That's just let's face the reality of that.
Oh, so it was just really yes.
That was actually the truth. That's the truth.
but it was quite nice.
Okay, so for me, one issue I had was that I did not understand why all my children would just wake up one morning and all of them they have stomach ache. No, for the life of me, like why? Like why? What's going on? Is this there's something I don't know? Like so I was not like what's happening until one particular day, one of my learners came and was like that particular morning she even went to the extent of throwing up.
Wow.
It's like this thing is getting serious, so I need to find out what's happening. One of the students they now called me aside and now told me that I've not eaten I've not eaten this morning. And the person that usually brings food so that she will now give them small share for them, they not bring food that day.
Oh.
So everybody is hungry. That's what's happening in that class. So I started getting used to having children who are hungry in my class, who will literally sleep off through your class or yawn throughout your class. So at that point in time, I realized that a lot of my children were coming to school hungry. So that was when I was not like, okay, we need to do something about this thing. I cannot now just sit down and I will realize that at the end of the day, the objectives of my class not being met because most of the kids are not having the attention in the class enough to get what I want them to get. So I got into the habit of getting them meals. In the morning, I would find a way to get them to get something at their Yalonje. So she will give
Good
them
vendor.
stuff, and then there'll be water available and all that for them before, or maybe thereabout around maybe break time for them to eat and stuff. So because of the fact that they feel their the food part of things is getting, at least they can come to school because there is hope for them to get meals to eat and all that. I started to get like my kids will always be in class, they'll always be in class, and then most of the times they don't sleep anymore. There's no yawning in the class, nobody's calling them, I'm hungry, all those kind of things. Stomach ache, we're average eliminated. So I think that was one very big shock that I got. Yeah,
Nice
so
one.
I think we should talk about in the midst of all the challenges and all that, what was that thing that helped us like pull through and be like, I'm just going to keep doing this. Those that challenges and all that, but what was that one thing? That was it a support system? Was it how was that? What was that thing that helped you more? Just keep going.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, now who wants to go first?
George.
all right. One, I had my PC then, who actually gave her time to listen to my stress, my predicament. Coach Nene, I I would call her and actually relate what I'm going through to her, because I didn't actually want to bring family into the picture, because I felt that telling family what I'm going through will make them
Did you have
tell
to
me
go in the
to
first
come
place?
back.
Coming back.
So I didn't want to actually bring family into the
After
picture.
all,
So
I'm not saying your best piece.
I had to carry I had to carry the cross quietly. So basically, I had to relate with her because she is already in the system and she understands things better, and she's in a better position to advise me. So, but regardless, I was still feeling the needles within my flesh, despite the fact
Chicken soup.
she would say one or two soothing words, but it was my flesh, it was within me. I was, but thanks to God, here we are, still standing strong.
Few months to go.
Have you?
Okay.
Sure. You're the next.
I'm the next.
Yes,
Okay. What stood out for me was I think when I came, I started discovering that I have
Family
am I supposed to say
everywhere.
am I supposed to say
A man of the
This
nation.
guy is a lucky,
As in so lucky.
was a lucky guy.
No,
I bet you in your
I
place
just-
now,
I
you have
found
someone
out.
there.
That's family everywhere.
I found out that I had a family member in school too. Who was also the head teacher of
Neighboring
school
school.
too.
The same compound.
Just the same compound. So she was now giving me moral support, and
She will bring rice, full flask for him.
So
There are plenty.
okay,
Table.
and
Oh,
my
you
my
people.
existing class teacher was also very supportive because fellows have been here before, so she already knows what we are sent here to do. And I have my partner too, Agnes, the energetic Agnes. He's always there for me to to support the head teacher. I had the support of the head teacher, and
Omo, your
I think
support
I
system
didn't really
plenty
have
o.
There plenty. But no reach one.
I didn't really have big challenge like carry your bag and leave. No, because I already have where to sleep. In
When
fact,
you
the day
have
I
family
came,
everywhere.
the day I came, I already have somewhere to sleep. So I was not like, okay, since I already have somewhere to stay, let's move in and see what's the next thing to do.
You know,
So
some of us that were shelterless, homeless, everything less,
But you were fellow
Money
fool.
less.
But you were fellow fool.
Abi.
Yeah.
We just knew that we had to come and help some kids in Ijebu-Ode, somewhere
Abi.
that I did not know. It was something.
Yeah.
So for me, support system, I think there were not many. There were not many. In fact, for me, family was not. Would I say family was a support system? Um, I mean, they did what they could, right? But there were times when I needed to complain about financial issues, and being the person who sends child aid home, complaining about finance will bring tension to the people. To bring tension to the people who were expecting to maybe shake body and all that. Then you are the one now going to ask them.
Abi.
That was not so for that was out of it. So for me, it was like, okay, sometimes I'll call my mom and be like, oh, this is what's going on, I'm having issues with this. My mom has lived in the west before, so she will tell me, oh, that's how they are doing, that's how people, that's how Yoruba people are. You have to be careful with them. You have to be when it comes to all that advice and all that. Of course, my mom was there for me, and my elder brother too, Emmanuel, was very, 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 very supportive. But when it comes to there are some things that you don't want to tell them because family will freak out. Family will just be like, no, be carrying. We did not tell you that we don't have house for you to sleep inside. Come back now. They will go and look. They don't have. They will borrow money
Abi
and
na.
send to you. Come
Come back
back.
home.
We need you one
Yeah.
piece.
Better we should be eating Gary on the same place.
Yeah, so
Go
there's some things
somewhere
that will
else that you
happen.
don't have.
There's some things that happen you can't tell family.
Yeah.
So in those moments, at times, those times that I'll go and cry. I literally had a place where I had a crying room. Because I'll go there, I'll go out, I'll be like, oh, this is what's going on. But later on, I will go behind there and cry. When I now cry, when I'm now done, I'll clean my tears and then I'll go back again. I'll go and, okay, this is what's going on and all that. So in those moments, my partner was very helpful. It was very, very helpful. That and then that times when I'll go and rant, I'll be like, they're trying me in this school.
Oh God.
You're trying me in this school. I don't like this nonsense. Where I'm coming from, nobody does this.
Welcome. Welcome aboard.
It was not cool at all many times, but there are times, and then I like that he was someone that I could actually just talk to, and he was like, "Just calm down, don't worry, don't worry." We will now go to that place that they are selling food. You now buy food for me. Then we will now
Calm your neck
come
down.
around.
I think
We will
we need
now
to
find a
follow
way.
you. Sure. So anytime
I'm
I'm
telling
busy, I'll come and fight you.
And then at that time again, my coach was a very big support system. Coach Bright came out today. One love. See. One love.
Coach Bright.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There are times where I'll call him and cry. I will not even hold the tears back. No. I'll call him and cry. I will cry. And you allow me cry. When I finish crying and ranting, there are days where I'll be like, this thing is not for me. This fellowship thing is for some set of people. And it's not me. It's not me. You'll not be like, no, you can't say that. Why? But why do you think so? And I say, but look at all these things going on. It's not supposed to be happening to me. You know, I tell you, no, it's part of the story. Later on, you can now go and do this, so later on you see him, he will come to our school fast. You now come and start listening. If you be so it it was I think my coach and my partner they were very huge support system for me. So they're the ones that when I think I now remember that after all these people have done, after all they have done, and then I carry my bag and what have I now done? So I feel like in gratitude to all the people who stood by me, and the fact that I don't want to say that I quit on myself and now wake up when I'm like, I say I will do this, and then I not even went all the way. And at the end of the day, I don't now do it, and I came back shamefully. No, I didn't want that. So, yeah, I think those things kept making me move on.
Okay, for me, I'll just quickly just paraphrase it. I had different support system for different things, but some stood out outstanding. First of all, shout out to my family. They were the number one support system for me, and especially my brother, say Coach Joshua.
The coach.
It's made it look easy for me, but also at some point, the next support system you will need is your partner. Trust me. Is your partner, because that is the only person that will understand what you are feeling at that particular, because the person is also with you at that particular time. So next support system was or is still my partner, is Ogechi. So then the next support system for me was in terms of academics or in terms of the institution for as in for my school was my class teacher. I could remember I literally my pupils made me cry as old as I am. They made me cry. Imagine. I could not come and tell my mother that at that point, yes, I told her, but my class teacher saw me and she was like, relax. Everything will be well. That is how they do. Sometimes they would go out to frustrate you, but she made it was a support system. And the last one I would say just that there are people you would also meet unknowingly in the environment, in the community, that will stand as family, as backbone somehow for you. But in all, apart from all these ones, you still need a support system in the organization, somehow as TFN, and that stood out for me as my coach. Understand?
Look
Coach.
at you. When you have a coach as a brother.
It's
I mean, don't look at that.
So, but most importantly, your partner. Seriously, your partner is a very big support system to you. Thank you.
I forgot to mention. The first car I got, they posted me to. I didn't have a partner.
Away.
So it was a lone walk, like a lone soldier going to a lone walk. And the community was like 3 villages, after 3 villages, back in Ilaro. So it was a freezing journey. But we're keeping warm right now. So thank you to God.
Okay.
Well, my support system, they're not playing to shout because people, when I left the house, they did not send me work. No, only me work at cup. Okay, well, my partner is number one because honestly, from the moment I left Lagos, after I went to Lagos first job and come out, he was the first person. He kept calling me from when I left Lagos. I'm emotional. Right up to this moment.
You did not call me.
So he did not call me. My partner. Then number two for me, who was number two? Oh, Jesus. And the lady I stayed with, she was helpful in some kind of way. Yes, in her own way, she was for that short period of time. And the last person was my class teacher. She was a mother to me. She's still a mother to me because God carried her
Mrs.
from primary 4 to primary 5 with me.
As in
I don't know who else I would have been able to work with because I'm not a very emotional person. If things go wrong, I don't have to start complaining them. My own is to keep it within myself, go home, cry about it, and then come back as if everything is fine. But she always looked out for me, even when times when she would notice my mood would change. Okay, are you okay? What is wrong? Do you want pawpaw?
Yeah.
So those are like the three. Those are my support systems.
Right.
Okay, so this is the last part. This is the point where we be like, just say something to people who let's just give this little time to those people who are planning to join the
Like
fellowship.
the investors, potential investors.
So the people who are coming into the Teach for Nigeria Fellowship. So one thing that you want to say, one thing you want to say to them, one advice that you want to say to them based on your own, it's based on your own experience. Go go go.
Mm.
Yes, one advice. We all have different experiences, so
Mm.
one thing. That's deep.
Mm. Mm. It's still deep. People are watching us.
Yes.
Oh God.
Okay, so
We
should
shall not lie.
should
I
I
swear,
go?
we shall not lie. But
Okay.
say the truth.
You're not. I mean, this is not about
Yeah.
hiding anything. Okay, so for me, I'd say that Teach for Nigeria is an amazing fellowship. Teach for Nigeria is an amazing fellowship. I cannot lie about the fact that, in as much as there were challenges, I had good sides from this fellowship. I'm not going to go lie about that. So for me, it's been one roller coaster. And you know something about the fact that if you're somewhere you're not having challenges and those things that will push you, you're not going to grow. So I like this experience because there's this way Teach for Nigeria makes you just try to, it feels like it's bringing child there are challenges coming up and you're trying to equip yourself enough to weather them and stuff. That's what this fellowship is about. So if you are not ready, you are not the type that you see challenges and then you try to see how you can actually face them. I don't know what to tell you. But this is where no, but the thing is, this is not something that is people are born with. It's something that you learn. So a lot of us would like to be in our comfort zone. But this for Nigeria is not the fellowship that makes you stay in your comfort zone. In fact, nothing, no part of it makes you to stay in your comfort zone. So for me, my advice to someone who is maybe thinking that, okay, I want to enroll, I want to be part of this fellowship. It's an amazing fellowship. Um, tighten your seatbelt because this is where you come and you grow, because there will be a lot of challenges for you to go through. And the third thing for me is, don't ever think that you come here and then you don't have challenges. The challenges are enormous. Enormous. Plenty. So please, I mean, I have details, but I don't think we'll have enough time for that. So let me let everybody talk.
Okay. Who's going next?
George.
All right. It's not going to be easy. Never. But you just have to keep the faith. You have to believe in yourself. When I was coming, maybe I'll say my doubt was cleared. I mean, as they put it in pidgin, plenty
Clear
things
your
cleared
doubt.
my doubt. You get.
Hmm.
So I advise anyone trying to join the fellowship to first of all believe in the vision.
Mm.
Believe in the vision and also be ready to sacrifice, because you sacrifice a lot of things. You're going to sacrifice a lot of things. So that at the end of the day, it will not be like they carry you go where you don't know. So that's it from me to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Like my partner said earlier.
These two.
Okay.
These two.
Like my partner said earlier, Teach for Nigeria is an amazing organization, and well, me coming into TFN, especially from the institute part, I never thought I would ever hit the 5 square meal. Let me not lie. That was the first time I would be eating 5 square meal actually, and
Question.
although
Okay.
I didn't get used to it because I refused to get used to
Thank God you
it.
didn't.
Because we were really taken care of at the institute. In fact, if you come with money, it's a waste of time. You won't have
There's no place for your
there's no
currency
place for you
there.
They
to
don't
buy
spend
anything.
currency.
Everything you need is just there. Just come, eat, learn, sleep, eat, learn,
Tell me
sleep.
about
Yeah, I think we
it.
don't
Yes.
talk about institute enough.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Teach for Nigeria did it.
yeah,
I mean,
the
they always
the
do.
trainings, the facilitators, they are amazing.
Amazing.
It's an organization you want to
use
work
the
with
H there.
because
Amazing.
when you join TFN as a fellow, you have opportunities to other platforms where you can have access to grants, even have access to study abroad and so on and so forth. There are so many opportunities. At the same time, there are many challenges. But one thing I would advise is that before you come in, find out your passion.
True.
What do you like to do? What don't you want? What don't you want to do? Think about yourself. Can you withstand certain situations? In fact, go online and read about TFN. Look at their impact story. Check their videos. Go to their social media and check them out. Just relate with fellows before you come in, before you make that decision of enrolling. So that's my advice for you.
Yes, fellows are out there, so reach out to one or two of them, and then let them give you one of these. Just one-on-one session with them. They are very open. We are very open.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, yes.
Okay, do you want to stop?
It's you.
Okay, so for me, what I would say it's in two ways. If you want to just come and go, trust me, you will not have any challenge. If you just want to just come, just and say Otilo, you will not have any challenge. But when you want to be intentional about growth, about self-development, about making a change, you would have series of challenges. In fact, there are challenges that cannot be described. You would pass through them.
I cannot tell you.
Yes, you would pass through them. That's just the truth. You will pass through them, and in all, you just need to, like as my fellows have said, you just need to know your passion and just I don't know. The word is not
But
just.
do they need to know their passion? Because I feel like TFN will bring the passion out of you. At the end of the day, that's what
They need to know it.
That is what I'm saying. There are some people that
there are some
there are people that
it's
just
not fair.
want to just come
Yes.
just for the coming's sake,
Abi.
and there are people who really knows what they want.
Yes.
Is that so? If you know what they want, TFN is going to bring it out. Like it's going to be like this adage that they say that a camel passing through the eye of a needle.
Refine you.
Yes, and yes, thank you. They will redefine you, and
Oshe gold.
thank you. So it's really going to be. I think my partner has the next word to say.
What did you just do? Like, what did you just do? Oh God.
I'm giving you the baton.
Okay. Okay, so what I would say is that for people who want to join TFN, my partner said find your passion. But I think another thing you should do is tell yourself what do you want to use your life to do. Because this is going to be 2 years you're investing. 2 years you cannot take back.
That's all.
Because if you don't make good use of it, trust me, you're going to sit back and oh God, I've wasted 2 of my years. Like, oh God. So first of all, what do you want to do with yourself? Number one. And number two, you need to be resilient. 3, you need to be very open-minded because you will meet people who do not think the way you think. Their belief system is totally different. And if you do not know how to adapt to people, you are going to struggle a lot. So these 3 things are very important. And the last one, I think, is just try to enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride as you're going through. There will be fun times too.
Yeah.
That's all for me.
Yeah.
Then
so
also
for-
this great stuff, this great something. I think it's something they need to learn. Great. Yes. Need to learn how
Okay, what's great?
The greeting.
persevere.
No,
No,
great.
great.
How to
Okay,
carry
Okay.
out
True
okay.
things.
through tough
Through tough
situations.
situation.
Okay. All right.
That's
So,
Okay, so I think that generally would recommend the Teach for Nigeria Fellowship anytime, any day.
yeah,
Sure.
Recommend.
We enjoyed it, and we have a few months to go. So
Yes,
yeah,
so
we're here, we're doing it, and thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed our chit chat.
Yes.
And we had fun. Hope you did too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
adios.